I'm really not in a mindset of being friends. I'm married to two divorced women. I know what their opinion is of that guy.
Both Janelle and Robin were married before I married them. They don't have good relationships with their exes. I don't want to have that happen here. I don't want her going around the country telling people that I'm a bad person. I don't know what's complicated about it. It's like she's chosen to leave. Okay, goodbye.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Wednesday, September 14th. We just finished up a video about Robin Brown getting kicked out or kicking Kody out of her house and how unhealthy that is, and I have my opinions. I have a story that I'm covering that just happened. It's related to the FLDS, the group that was run by Warren Jeffs, and a breakoff sect that still has FLDS members inside of it, and a raid by the FBI. So if you have not followed me on Instagram, double check you are. It's Without a Crystal Ball, or Facebook at Facebook/WOACB. There's details about what's going on in Colorado City. And interesting enough, this individual that is in trouble was, he's in Coconino County, and this took place in Flagstaff. He does not connected to Kody Brown. They were actually on their way to Phoenix. But again, that is the dark side and the reality for so many people in this world. And what we see on TLC is a sanitized version of polygamy that they have been lying to us about for years. Now, the Browns might not be involved in the worst of the worst, but the group that they're involved with has done really bad things in the past, and their idea that they're not is just a flat out lie. But let's talk about the new clip for next week that was recently released by the Today Show. It is a teaser clip of Kody and Christine talking about moving to Utah. So last week we saw Kody and Christine fight about the end of their marriage. This week they're gonna fight again about moving to Utah. And Kody seems to really be struggling with the end of his marriage. Here's the thing. I think if Kody has the decision to make and wants to end a relationship, he's fine with it. He has no problem being rude and cruel to Mary. It seems like his breakup with Christine was not expected, and I don't think he anticipated it happening, and I don't think he wanted it to happen. I think he's shell-shocked and doesn't even know what to do. He actually looks like a groveling kid that's been broken up with and is trying to get the girl back, but yet she's standing her ground. So in the teaser, they're talking about moving to Utah, how far away it's gonna be, where she's gonna move, and why. The first chunk of it we'll get into in a second, and before we do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you've not yet subscribed. Make sure you turn your notifications on for the video, for my channel, and set them to all, and leave comments on this topic. This has been really wild. I've covered polygamy for a long time. There's going to be a lot more. We're going to cover the Kingston group is actually getting sued right now. There's a lot going on in Utah, and I think in Arizona, that, you know, we're not just going to always talk about sister wives, right? But the sister wives are the most visual we have for the problem in polygamy. So the video starts off with them in the office, and Kody here looks pretty dejected, and he's like sitting on the chair in her office, and it starts like this.
We're just friends, Kody. We're just gonna be good friends.
I'm just trying to be big about this.
I'm really not in a mindset of being friends. I'm married to two divorced women. I know what their opinion is of that guy.
Okay, so Kody is worried about Christine leaving him, and he does not want to be just friends with her. Now, you would think that this is about, I don't want to lose her, I don't want her to leave because I love her. No. We'll find out why here in a second. But he looks dejected. He looks like he's struggling. And she's like, no, we're going to be friends. And he's like, I don't want to be friends. But why is it? Check this part out.
Both Janelle and Robin were married before I married them. They don't have good relationships with their exes. I don't want to have that happen here. I don't want her going around the country telling people that I'm a bad person.
So Kody's afraid because Kody's married to two women that have been divorced, Robin and Janelle. And he is worried that because Robin and Janelle are divorced and don't have good relationships with their ex-husbands, that Christine's going to run around the country and tell everyone what a horrible person he is. So he's not worried about Christine leaving him. He's worried about what she's going to say about him. I think he's worried about the secrets that are going to come out and the honesty she's going to tell about leaving. It's controlling his image. He doesn't want her to leave because he wants to control the image. He doesn't want her to speak negatively about him. But he's okay. He was okay with Robin talking negatively about David. And by the way, I just want to say something. Janelle has not spoken negatively about Mary's brother at all. She just said they were really young and it was a bad match. She's been very diplomatic in how she speaks about Mary's brother that she was married to for 1 year. It's Robin that's been very outspoken about her ex-husband, David, not Janelle.
It doesn't need to be complicated if you've made the decision.
Well, it's already complicated because it's not just you and I.
How is it complicated?
I don't know what's complicated about it. It's like she's chosen to leave. Okay, goodbye.
Are you fine with me moving away to Utah?
Okay, so he's like, she's trying to tell him that the split is complicated, and he's like, well, you're gone, goodbye. I think Christine is trying her best to be very, mindful of what is going to be on television, and there's little ears that are going to hear what she has to say. And those little ears are what is complicating this process. Those little tiny ears, they're not super tiny anymore, but you know what I mean? Like, there's a little girl that's involved in this and she's trying to protect her, and it makes things complicated. But because I'm sure Christine doesn't want to isolate Truly from her family in Arizona, but I'm sure she also wants to take her with her to Arizona so that she can be surrounded and enveloped by people that love her. That's my thought. And he's just like, well, fine, you can leave. And then, do you want me to move? Not really. So go, but don't go. Okay, Kody is like a mixed bag of confusion.
Where do you think you're going to move to?
Salt Lake area.
See, that's 8 hours away.
It is.
That's sort of unrealistic for us with the situation with our kids. Do you have to move that far?
Yes.
Okay, so she says she's going to move to Salt Lake. And he asks if she'll move to St. George, and she says, gross, I would never move to St. George. The reason why she's likely not to move to St. George is a couple. One, it's like a huge area where there's a lot of polygamists, and their church is located in St. George. Robin's family is also from St. George, and she has no familial connections to St. George at all, but it's not a huge town, and it has a huge polygamous population. Christine is actually from Salt Lake and northern Utah, and that's where all of her kids live. So no, she doesn't want to live in St. George. But Kody would rather she live there because it's only like a few hours from Flagstaff, whereas if she moves to Salt Lake, it's 8 hours. And he's like, but we have to think about the kids. There's only one child involved in this, truly.
I'm disgusted by this idea that she's moving and she's going to take Truly and move to Utah. Truly's my child. I don't want to push her into something crazy. Men don't win in the divorce world. I've done my research.
Would we be breaking up if you didn't need to go to Utah?
I don't know, but I don't think that we would last. I don't think we would last.
Okay, so he's concerned about her taking Truly, okay? To Utah and taking her out of her family situation in Arizona. Truly, they've only been in Arizona for 3 years, and Truly spent the majority of growing up in Arizona. She was born in Utah, and he's concerned about her taking Truly away. To which I would say, if you were so worried about Truly, why weren't you ever around her? Where were you ever spending time with her? What were you ever doing with her? Nothing. And then he says, well, would you be breaking up with me if you had to move to Utah? So now it was COVID, but now he thinks that she's leaving him because she needs to move to Utah. And she says, well, I don't think we would have lasted anyway. The problem is that Kody wants to put this on an external reason for why they're splitting up when it's not an external reason. It's that them together doesn't work. But he wants to blame her need to move, COVID, whatever he can to not have to take responsibility for the fact that he's a part of the reason the marriage failed. He's deflecting. And she's so calm during all of this. Can we just give her a props for that?
What I'm looking for is a place to envelop truly in family. I can take her to a better support system where she's surrounded by love. Whereas here, to be honest, most of the time it's me.
Okay, so she's saying like, no, we wouldn't work out. I want to take Truly to Utah because she is going to be around a lot of people that love her, that care about her, that will have a lot of people around her. She doesn't get that kind of love and affection here because it's usually just me and her by ourselves because Kody doesn't spend any time with her, okay? In northern Utah, she has her older sister, Aspen. And if you know anything about Aspen and Christine, they're super close. Like, Aspen was so angry when they moved to Flagstaff because of how far away she would be from her mom. So she's close to Aspen and Mitch. She's really close to McKelty and Tony and their granddaughter and their soon-to-be grandsons. And you have Peyton there, Gwendolyn there. All of the family is there. Isabel has been living in North Carolina, going to school while living with Maddie. But she's got all of her siblings there, and she's got her niece. She's got so much love that people can remind her that she's loved, and that's what Christine wants for her, and I think it makes sense. Because at home, she's not going to get that, and she will, well, Christine will explain why she needs to do this for Truly.
Right now, Truly doesn't understand at all. She doesn't see what Gwendolyn and Isabel and have seen for years, that he's just somewhere else, and he just prefers to be somewhere else. I would rather take her away from this situation before she clues in.
So the reason why she wants to do this is because she wants to protect Truly from realizing that her dad prefers to be around his other kids more than her. And it's a heartbreak that she said that her daughters, Gwendolyn and Isabel, had to come to face. Peyton has also said this, that it was very obvious to him that Robin's kids were treated differently. They got different gifts. They were lavished with gifts, time, attention, and affection. The same was not provided to him. He felt like his dad didn't give him the same attention, time, care that the others got. And the girls, Gwendolyn and Isabel, dealt with that as well. And because of that, she wants to protect Truly from realizing that, hey, dad doesn't really care as much about you as he does about them. She just wants Truly to be around people that she loves. And can you blame her? Truly's sisters adore her. Truly is like the baby for all of them because Isabel was 6 by the time she was born. So like Truly is everyone's baby, and she's like 12 now, but still like she's everyone's baby and everyone loves Truly. So I think everyone just wants to like shield her from that and get her out of that because it's not safe for Truly to be around that kind of emotional turmoil. It's not safe emotionally, psychologically. I mean, there's a lot. And I think just with the way that Kody acts and his verbal ABUSC, that's also not healthy for her to be around either. So I think for her, it's safer for Truly to leave and not be near Kody. Kody doesn't want to let her go, and Christine needs to protect her from being hurt. What are your thoughts? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.